As it stands, yeah, you know, they've had a good prep. Stolen was really impressive at Chepstow, first time over 3, and Our Power just had a nice spin over hurdles just to give him a good blowout. If anything, we didn't want to risk him winning again and potentially his mark then going up. So hopefully he's off still a workable mark, and yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, no, very much so. They you know, take nothing away from it. There were a few non-runners because of the ground, but the style he did it in was really pleasing. Yeah, he jumped brilliantly, relaxed, and saw the trip out really well, you know, for the first run over 3 miles. So yeah, I think he's hopefully still got more to offer over that sort of distance, which is exciting. Like the way he saw out his race at Chepstow would suggest that he should be okay. Obviously you don't quite know sometimes until you do run these horses over the extreme trips. However, I do feel he's a much more relaxed horse this season at home, and I think that's probably a sign of him probably, you know, telling me he wants to step up in trip. And certainly in all of his races over 2.5, he always stayed, you know, when he was fit and healthy, he was always galloping right to the line. So yeah, I've no reason to believe he won't get 3 1/4. And you know, it's a flat track. Obviously, they go a good gallop round there, and you need to stay very well. But I think if he's ever going to stay that trip, it's on a track like Newbury. He's very versatile, Stolen Silver. He'll handle the softer ground. He's very tough. Like he goes through the pain barrier in a lot of his races, and he had to in some of those 2.5 mile races at Cheltenham. They go so quick. So for me, the ground I don't think is a huge concern. What happens if it ended up going a bit quicker? It wouldn't be a problem. And if it went the other way, that wouldn't be a problem. I think this horse in particular is one that the ground would affect, you know, his performance more than Stolen Silver. I think the better the ground, the better for this lad. I don't particularly think he really wants it too soft. Obviously he's flat bred, quite a choppy little action, and I think, yeah, as near a good ground as possible would suit this lad certainly a lot more than the other horse, you know. He's such a laid-back character, you know. He sort of doesn't give much away at home, put it that way. You know, he's not one that's going to be jig-jogging around the place, but yeah, he's come out of it nicely, and yeah, it's given us enough time to sort of kick on and give him a bit more work since that run, and hopefully it's just blown the cobwebs out really. Like I say, we would have loved obviously to run him over fences, but we didn't want to risk him winning again and ruining his chances of, you know, having a nice weight in the Coral Gold Cup. Through the summer, I guess, is when we do a bit of planning, and it's the obvious race to go and target. Generally, it's on better ground. It's at the start of the season, and you know, should it not work out, then he's got lots of other spring options to look at really. So yeah, I suppose it's been a plan from the back end of last season really. Yeah, I think we'll see how we get on there obviously, and go from there. But I think, you know, with the national, I think we didn't really have many excuses, to be honest, other than the fact that he enjoyed it too much and was a bit too handy, and you know, the winner was right behind us all the way, so we had no excuses. So I'm not sure he really wants that extreme a trip. But then saying that, you know, you've got the Scottish National, which again is on decent ground towards the end of the season, the Bet 365, which would be an obvious one. Yeah, we'll take this race one step at a time, and then, like I say, it's just nice to have the opportunity to look at those other good races later on in the season. You know, I love having the youngsters coming through all the time, but also, you know, it's so nice to have these older, experienced horses that you can do a bit more planning with and set targets with. And yeah, we're really lucky here as a team. We've got some amazing horses to work with, and that's what we all do it for really, is the big days, I think. Yeah, it's just special to have such nice horses really. Yeah, so Ed Keeper is hopefully going to run in the 3 miler. I think it's a 0 to 145 on the Friday. Lovely horse who we think a lot of. First run over that trip, but please God, if the ground's nice and safe, he'll go and take his chance. He's a nice horse, and potentially could be a horse for the Coral Gold Cup, you know, in years to come.